Hey guys, what's up? It's TF Now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another top 10 video. It's a very special one for May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. It's going to be of my top 10 favorite Star Wars The Black Series figures. Now, I've been collecting Star Wars The Black Series ever since 2013. I think it's a very solid line. There have been some figures that I don't think are extremely amazing, but for the most part, honestly, they have some pretty solid figures, and you're about to see some of my favorites here on the list. Now, I have some honorable mentions. They didn't quite make it onto the list, but they were pretty close. One of my favorite droids, probably my favorite droid, if it wasn't K2SO, when it comes to the Black Series line, is the Probe droid. I think that they did an extremely well done job with a lot of the articulation that you have in some of the parts, and as well as it's not the most articulated thing, of course, but it has the articulation that it needs, and it has a lot of really nice features and moving parts, as well as great detail. It's a very nicely sized figure, and I do think it has a pretty cool base. So it is a very solid droid if you have it in your collection. Uh, Basically number 14. That was basically number 15, and 14 I guess would be Kit Fisto. It is using the Jedi body that we've gotten a few times already, but it is still just a really nice figure. I think they did a great job with the head sculpt overall, and the body fits with the character and this figure, and it just works really well. The lightsaber is also really cool. There's not much else to talk about with this. I think it's really good. Pretty much 13, halfway through. One of my favorite exclusives is the Best Buy. I kind of said that wrong. The Best Buy Heavy Infantry Mandalorian. I think it's really awesome, even if it is a $30 figure. For $30, I think you're getting your money's worth. It is a very hefty size. It has pretty good articulation for what you can do with it, and the turret's really cool. The backpack system's also nice. I just don't really like the the back loincloth or whatever. It's just all plastic. I wish it was soft goods, but that's really not that big of a complaint for me, at least. It's still a pretty nicely detailed and articulated piece. Then we get to number 12, which is my favorite Luke figure. That is the Walmart exclusive Jedi Luke. And I'm going to admit, I don't think the head is incredible with the likeness, at least. Really, there are a lot of Black Series Luke figures that just don't look like Mark Hamill. But this one is really good when it comes to the body. I believe it is different from the previous Jedi Lukes that we have gotten. I do like the more the soft plastic overlay we get on here, and it came with a soft goods robe as well as his nice green lightsaber, and overall it's just an awesome figure to have. Number 11, which is one of my favorite clone commanders in figure form here and just in general, is Wolf. Wolf is a really awesome figure. I have very little complaints when it comes to this guy, except when it comes to the overall body, which is used from previous older clone bodies. I'm not the biggest fan of the body. It's not a horrible body, mind you. It works for the character, but it's restrictive when it comes to certain points of articulation. But the helmet is cool. The sculpt underneath the helmet is awesome. His array of weapons is also sick. The paint apps that he does have are very clean. He does have soft goods around the skirt, and it's just a very solid piece. Let's go ahead and start with number 10. At number 10 is actually my favorite female figure. It's Jaina Solo. And, I'm not super familiar with the character. Please don't put me on a stake for that. But, it's extended universe. Cool that we have extended universe characters in the Black Series line. I think we should get more of those, honestly. It is a very nicely done figure. I really like the body with the, the pilot outfit. Head sculpt's pretty clean. Articulation's actually really solid. It has a crunch and a ball joint at the waist, which I kind of wish they did that a little bit more with Black Series figures, because the waist articulation can be very restrictive on them. And the lightsaber is also pretty cool, and the rest of the articulation is also really nice in the knees. And it's single joint elbows, of course, but they aren't too bad. It's a very solid figure, I think, and if you are a fan of the extended universe stuff, I think you'd be glad to have this in your collection. At number 9 is going to be the Empire Strikes Back version of Han Solo. This is my more favorite look for Han Solo. I think they did a really good job with this figure overall. I like the jacket, the head sculpt. The sculpting is good, except I don't really see Harrison Ford, honestly. I don't think the face printing is incredible, but it's still a pretty nice figure overall. It's my go-to Han Solo, just, again, because of the look. I mean, nothing wrong with the vest look, but I just like the more, jacket version. Comes with his blaster. You can't go wrong with his blaster. And overall, he's got the bells and whistles to make him look like Han Solo. I don't think he's reusing any parts from the previous one. Not that I would blame them for that, but it's just a very solid figure, and it's probably everyone's go-to Han Solo, unless you want to go with maybe the Return to Jedi version. Number 8 is going to be Kylo Ren from Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This is the one that came out in 2015, and the lightsaber there is actually the version that came with the Episode 8 version. That's the more solid pieces, as you can see, for the lightsaber. With the one that came out in 2015 that had the removable saber pieces, I didn't really like how that looked entirely, but this figure is just, I still think is, to me, one of the better sequel trilogy figures that we have ever gotten. I think a lot of them could be kind of, mediocre. I think this one and maybe Island Journey Ray, honestly, are pretty up there for the better ones. This one, if I had to choose, this one would take the cake, though. I love the helmet sculpt. The soft goods, I think, are tailored perfectly, and they are just done incredibly well. I do wish maybe the scarf was also soft goods, but the plastic stuff that is here, I don't really mind overall. So there's a lot of matte black and glossy black, a little bit of silver in certain areas, but again, the head sculpt's awesome. Pretty good articulation, and it's just an incredibly well done figure. Number 7 is going to be the Beskar version of Mando here from The Mandalorian. Honestly, either version's pretty good. I just like the all silver look a little bit more. You can probably tell, though, my biggest complaint with this figure was the soft plastic cape that it came with. Not a big fan of that, especially this version, which that cape would get in the way of the jetpack. I don't really know what they were thinking there. This really should have been soft goods to begin with. So I have a soft goods cape from OT Customs, and I think it's a much better figure. It's not much different from the previous one, besides maybe a few different pieces in the shoulders and the chest with the silver there. Head sculpt it could be better, but I think it's good enough. And it comes with the previous weapons from that original version, which, I mean, I don't really blame it, of course. It's a very good figure, and I really, really like Mando a lot. And the details are really good, especially the paint on the silver, and the articulation is also very solid. And if you pair this with any Black Series Baby Yoda, it's the icing on the cake. And the jetpack on this guy is very nice too. Number 6, I'm going to put the Imperial Stormtrooper that came out in 2020. So there are some 2020 figures on here, which I feel might be a little too recent, but I don't think so, honestly, just because these figures are extremely good that we have on here. This is the better version, I think, of the Stormtroopers. I don't really... If you like the previous ones, I think it's fine, but I just think that they are better with the new ones here. Yeah, a little less articulation than the previous one, but it does about the same amount of posing as the previous one. And it's still just really solid. I think it's more natural looking, even if it is more based on the Rogue One version as well as the Mandalorian stuff. It's a Stormtrooper. It looks like one. Some people have a problem with the, the helmets. It's a soft plastic piece over a hard head sculpt that's glued on there. And definitely some of them have been warped. I received one that was warped, returned it, and got one that wasn't warped. So that's fine with me. Overall, it's just a very awesome army builder, and it's probably one of the better Stormtroopers we have. At least that's a little bit more affordable. I mean, right now, maybe not so much because I don't know when they're going to restock, but it's just very, very good. Number 5, I'm going to give it to Mace Windu. It might be a little bit of bias because he is my favorite Jedi, but I think the figure itself looks really awesome. I think the face sculpt is super well done. It's mostly using the reused body we've gotten for Jedi in the past, which I don't really blame it. It's just, there's not much else to say. That lightsaber comes with is also pretty awesome. It gets the amount of articulation that you want done with the figure, as well as it comes with a soft goods brown coat that you could use for other Jedi. And did I mention that face printing, I think it looks incredibly a lot like Sam Jackson. Honestly, it kind of rivals the SH Figure Arts one. I think they both look really good. That one, it was kind of hard though to get, at least now. Back then, kind of too. So this one is a little easier now. I think they restocked, especially with the Best Buy exclusive version for the Phantom Menace. Number 4, I'm going to put the Imperial Royal Guard, which I kind of think now is a bit underrated. I don't see many people talk about this now too much, I guess just with the more new stuff coming out. But back then, this thing was all the rage, which was like, 2018? So that's not too far away. It's far back. But this is a very solid figure because not only does it have the soft goods covering the whole figure, it has an entire torso sculpt and legs, of course, sculpted underneath. and it has just this really nice armor sculpt with some pretty good paint. Articulation could be a tiny bit better in certain areas, mostly in the ankles, but it's just a pretty solid figure. You can pretty much get into any pose that you were going to want to get it into. Comes with a really cool force pike and a nice small blaster. I forget the name of the blaster right now. And the head sculpt for the Royal Guard is super cool. At number 3, I'm going to put Captain Rex on here, which I do have the HasCon exclusive one, so it doesn't have the face printing technology underneath with the unmasked head. But even then, I still think it's really well done. The dirt on this guy is really cool. I think it's one of the best clone figures we've ever gotten. I mean, they're all pretty good, at least the commanders and the captains. I think the commanders for Black Series are all very solid, but this one especially is really good, with that nice helmet that can be removed and has the visor piece, or the the earpiece that does flip down. It comes with a nice arsenal of weapons that you can use for this guy. Pretty good articulation, soft goods around the skirt, and yeah, it's reusing the clone trooper parts of the clone trooper that I don't think are incredibly well done, but at the same time it works very well for this guy. Number 2, I'm giving it to the Scarif Stormtrooper. Yes, I am putting it that high on the list. I think it is one of the better army builders. May not be as good when it comes to articulation and posability now when you compare it to the 2020 version of the Stormtrooper, but I can't help it. A little bit of bias is coming through here because I really like the look of the Scarif Stormtroopers, and I think that every version that we have with that look in Black Series form is really well done. We have the regular I think the Commander version that comes with the skirt that you're seeing here. There's also the Walmart exclusive one, which now has been re-released in the Archive series, and then there was another one which I think was a tank driver or whatnot. But overall, it's just a really nice figure. I like the helmet sculpt here on this one. This particular one, this is the retail version. The Captain or Commander, whatever, it has some pretty nice paint apps and whatnot. The new one, the Archive one, has very good paint apps with the dirt. It's definitely better than the previous ones, and I just like the sculpt overall of the body, and it has pretty good articulation. It's just a really cool army builder to have. And at number 1, I definitely got to give it to Cad Bane. This is so awesome. I might be cheating because it came out in 2020 when they have really improved Star Wars: The Black Series, but I don't care. It is an incredibly awesome figure. Damn near perfect Black Series figure in my opinion. Yeah, the retail version doesn't come with Toto 360. There really isn't much I think could be done to make this better. It has great sculpting, great paint, awesome amount of accessories as is. The head sculpt is phenomenal. I really like the guns, the removable satchel, as well as that respirator piece that goes to, they plug into the side of his face there, and they are removable. That is awesome. Articulation maybe in the torso could be a little bit better. That's it. I really, really like this figure, and I think Hasbro outdid themselves with this one. And to me, it is the best Black Series figure. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree with anything on my list. I'd like to know some of you guys' favorites down in the comments below as well. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the video. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I will see you guys later, and happy May the 4th.